But anyway, speaking of The View, let's move on and let's talk about a former co-host of The View, Nutmeg McCain, who has a lot to say about Taylor Swift. So now she is convinced that Taylor Swift may be messing with karma. Now, on her Citizen McCain podcast, the host shared her real feelings on the popular global superstar Monday, claiming Swift has nowhere else to go but down at this point. Now, McCain, 39, mentioned that Swift, whose relationship with Travis Kelce has dominated headlines for months because of white media, was Time Magazine's Person of the Year in 2023 before pointing to the singer's incredibly successful and long-running Eras tour. She says, I do think when she's done touring, giving us a mild break from her being in the news cycle as much as she is would be helpful for her and us as commentators, the former View host explained, co-host. She said, I feel like I'm living in this Groundhog Day of Trump, Biden, Taylor Swift, Trump, Biden, Taylor Swift. Those are the only topics that Americans are allowed to talk about in the news all day long. And I think for her, a little bit of a beat will be good. Now, I got to stop there before I forget what I'm about to say. I disagree. First of all, you saying that that's what we pundits, no, that's what y'all talk about. Because, if y'all watch this show and many other shows, I'm sure, we don't be up in here talking about Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and Taylor Swift. The only time I talk about Taylor Swift on this show is it pertains to something that's interesting like this topic that I'm getting into. But other than that, I don't care what that lady is over there doing. I don't listen to her music. She don't move me one way. She don't move my needle one way or the other. I find her boring. I find her bland. But y'all like it. If you like it, I love it. But for me, she ain't for me. She is not. She don't give me my life with the music. Now, people I like Billie Eilish. I like Charlie XCX. I do like some of Sabrina Carpenter's music because I wasn't really familiar with her. But lately, because I've been hearing from her so much, I've been hearing a lot of her songs. Like her songs have been in rotation. Like when I listen to the shuffling on my Apple Music, I'll Sabrina Carpenter's song will pop up if I'm working out at the gym. I'll say, "Ooh, sing this song. This is cute." So I'll hear it. And Chapel Roan, I've been getting into. And I told you I worked the 3 out of the 4 Olivia Rodrigo shows at and funny enough, her and Chapel Roan, I believe, her and Chapel Roan, I believe they share a producer. So, I think what's his name, Dan Nider. So yeah, they share a producer. So there's a common factor with that. And I got into Olivia Rodrigo's music because I've heard her music from me working her shows at the Garden, which she does put on a good show. And they were saying like it's been since Olivia Rodrigo, there has not really been a artist that has broken out into this next generation of like up and coming pop artist, legend, icon, like someone who really has a potential to have a long lasting career. We're starting to see it now with Charlie XCX. We're starting to see it, even though she's been putting in the work for 10 years. We're starting to see it with Sabrina Carpenter, who has put out numerous albums over the years. They are just now finding out because the music is catching on and people are feeling what she's doing. And the same thing with Chapel Roan. Chapel Roan is someone who we look at as like, she definitely gives a good, not only good music, but she's an amazing live performer too. And I know everybody was looking at the internet and all that other stuff. It's like, oh yeah, these people that's making music in their bedroom, that's cute or whatever. But if y'all can't captivate an audience when y'all are live, your career is not going to last. You got to be able to put on a live show. You can't just put shit out on Spotify and Apple Music and just hope that you're going to have Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Madonna type success. Because they're out here, say what you want about any of them, but not only is the music good, but they give good shows as well. So I don't agree with that. I said maybe because you mainstream white folks, that's what y'all want to focus on, Trump and Biden. Well, that's because she's into politics, and her father being who he is, of course she's gonna say that. And of course with Taylor Swift, because white people, what else y'all can't really get into the stuff that we be talking about over here. So y'all going to sit up in here and just shove Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift down our throats every 5 damn minutes. But if that's what y'all want to do over there in y'all network, y'all go ahead and do that. But me, being a person of color, we can talk about a multitude of things on this show. So, despite her remarks, McCain says that she doesn't dislike Swift, who's 34. On the contrary, she apparently has high expectations of her. Well, I guess when you're in that position, you do have high expectations for a lot of these A-list celebrities. The political pundit called the Elvis level Grammy winner one of the greatest ever in America. Okay, girl, now you're doing the most. She is not the greatest ever in American history, but if that's y'all bar that y'all want to set in the greatest ever, sis, you need to get out and touch some grass. So they said, which is why the former feels the latter should have waited to release the variants of her latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, in the UK, which helped ensure the record stayed in the #1 spot on the charts. Now, for those of you not aware, earlier this month, Swift dropped 3 new variants of her latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, in the UK, which helped secure the record a 6th week atop the UK albums chart. The limited time deal helped secure enough sales to stave off competition from Charlie XCX's new album Brat, which debuted at #2 on the chart dated June 14th. Swift was accused of using similar tactics in the US last month to keep Billie Eilish's new album Hit Me Hard and Soft off the top of the Billboard 200. She said, I do think if you are rounding the bases of being 35 and you are the greatest ever, and there are some people coming up that could have that first #1, and you have the power to let them have #1 or not, I just don't know how classy it is. This is what McCain said. I also think that karmically, I think you're messing with some stuff. And again, I get that the Torture Poets Department is doing well. I mean, doing this well and whatever. But I do think that maybe like more focus on music and art instead of like putting checks on a scoreboard is interesting. Well, here's the thing. I do agree with her with that. Fact of the matter is Taylor making music for the sake of making music, or is she making music because it's her art and she needs to express her art, or is she doing this because she's all about trying to collect a bunch of damn Grammys and trying to possibly beat Beyonce's number of what, 33 Grammys or 32 Grammys? And also, is it that she's more or less interested in, oh, well, I want to have this title of the most weeks my album has spent #1? I could understand if she could brag about that if it was just one version of the Torture Poets Department. But you've released so many different variants of that album, and every other week you want to put a live version of this song that you performed at the Eras Tour on there, or some new songs, or like less than 24 hours after you released the Torture Poets Department, which was the standard version, you decided to release one where it had about, what, 3 dozen damn songs on it. Like you, Chris Brown, with putting 40 songs on a damn album. So, yes, you have your fan base that'll eat it up and they just love every little thing that Taylor Swift does. But to me, I don't like the idea of that. You supposed to be this girl's girl and a team player, but you pulling stunts and shows so that you can maintain the #1 spot. And there needs to be rules in regards to that, in regards of people who keep releasing 45 different versions of the same damn album, and that is allowed to help y'all go #1 and maintain that. And I guess it's good for business, whatever, but I know it's a thorn in the side of a lot of people who have put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and hard work into their music and are trying to make a name for themselves and this, that, and the other. So one of the things I will say on that is that, Taylor could do and pull chart topping stunts all she wants. But Charlie is having a last laugh because her 6th album, Brat, is the most talked about album of 2024. I've been seeing so many people, on YouTube. There's so many videos that I've seen of people doing deep dives into this whole Brat era. We're seeing that Charlie's rollout of this album is excellent. She don't have to pull what Taylor Swift is doing. She's going old school a lot of stuff, and plus she's appearing at a lot of clubs and DJing, promoting the album, which is very old school. I remember back in the day when Madonna used to do that, where she would go and show up and give a little show at Webster Hall, or there would be DJs that would be spinning the music and she would show up at the club. So it's giving that whole old school club vibe of how we used to do things pre-internet. And I love the fact that Charlie XCX's team have found a way to keep the Brat conversation on the tip of our tongues. But the only thing that everybody's talking about in regards to Taylor is the fact that she's releasing 150,000 different variants of the same tight ass album and trying to prevent other artists, her competition, from getting the #1 spot. So that's all they talk about. Or the fact that Travis Kelce never wastes no time getting on that podcast and talking about his relationship with her, and or his celebrity interactions with people and those other stuff. So he's living his best life and he's enjoying being Mr. Taylor Swift, which is great. If that's what you got in the relationship with her for, then that's what y'all get in the relationship for. But I do say, like, girl, you're not the only one out here. Let other people shine. And I hate that the industry plays into that too, where it's like y'all want to act like Taylor Swift is the only thing out here making stuff, and y'all just want to act like nobody else out here exists. But they also talked about something with Sabrina Carpenter that I had to laugh at. So she said that she thought it was weird for Sabrina Carpenter to appear in an ad campaign for noted Swifto Kim Kardashian's Skims brand while on a break from opening up for the Era store. Well, first of all, she took a break because she left the Era store because she's doing her own world tour. Well, I think it's domestic, like it's only going to be in the United States. I don't know if it's going overseas. The Short and Sweet tour, which she has a new album coming out. So I don't think it has to do with that. And then the way that Nutmeg came across, it was like Sabrina had to go get permission from Taylor to go do the campaign because Taylor and Kim are friend. Well, I don't even say frenemies. The nemesis, nemesis. Hey, nemesis. sis. The gay term. So I'm like, child, first of all, I don't need permission from nobody. First of all, ain't nobody scared of them tired ass fucking Swifties. And ain't nobody scared of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift does not run this industry. She does not give. She may have her foot on the pulse of what's going on in regards of like her business shit. Like she's got a great team of people that keep her business endeavors going and all that other stuff. But she don't run the gamut in regards of like all these other girls got to bow down to her and ask for her for permission to go doing campaigns with other people. So I had to laugh when Nutmeg said that. Because they were saying, according to McCain, that meant the songstress basically got Taylor's permission before doing an ad campaign for Kim. Was she scared of retribution for Taylor Swift or Swift's fans? The mother of two wondered, adding, what would Taylor Swift do? Like hurt her in the middle of the night? Put her fans on her? I mean, look, we know the Swifties are no different than the Barbs in a lot of ways on how they be acting. Like her fans could be very aggressive. Or if you say something, they want to come at you. But child, anybody scared of them sundress wearing armor soccer moms passing off as Swifties? Like, child, bye. But anyway, to wrap this story up, like I said, I'm here for the Brat era. I'm excited for this upcoming Sweat tour that she's got going on with Troye Sivan and Shy Girl. I'm curious to see how they're gonna put us all together. I know like she's been doing really well, but see, I think she just performed in Brazil. They ate it up when she was out there DJing, and she actually played the remix of her song "Girl So Confusing" with Lord. And the people in the audience, the crowd, they lost their damn mind. I'm loving how this whole Brat era situation is going, but I am curious as like how she's going to make this whole era work as an arena show. So I'm curious to see how her and her team are going to put this all together. But I'm not discounting that she won't be able to pull it off. But it will be interesting to see how she makes this whole thing work in the form of an arena, as well as Troye Sivan. Because quiet as it's kept, Troye Sivan really don't have a lot of up tempo tracks, but apparently he's making it work with his little tour that he's doing now. We'll see how it works where he comes and tries to do this all in an arena setting. But I say all this to say, what do you think of this story? Do you think that Nutmeg, even though I don't particularly care for her and her politics and her attitude and the way she was on The View in a lot of situations, do you think she has a point in regards of what she said in her assessment about Taylor Swift and how Taylor likes to pull these stunts and shows in order to sabotage other pop stars from getting that #1 spot based off of her latest album? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.